Shalom to you, like giving all praise and glory to you. How about Shem Shai, Bashem Chakudash, and giving double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutation to you, elect. Shem Mouth means a mouth from the Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp in Philadelphia. I'm with another wee lesson right here. And one of the lessons that, or one of the big news updates that has happened recently. A few days ago, it's currently November the 15th, 2025. Hopefully, year of the deliverance of Jacob, the elect, and the destruction and judgment of Joshua Adonam, which is Esau Edom. Okay, and you had a huge record-breaking government shutdown within the United States. Okay, which ended after, I believe, 43 days. Okay. As you have it here, on November the 10th, the Senate passed an agreement by a 60-40 vote, but then you had it, since the bill passed the House once again and was signed by Trump, the shutdown ended on November the 2nd, or November the 12th. The House voted 22. All right, going down to the House of Representatives, that is. All right. And to 209 to end the government shutdown. Now, within that package, you have to go into the big changes, okay? Because also remember of how long does them funds last until there's another shutdown, okay? Government. Budget. All right, so you have it. What happens with the federal budget process? The federal government has a fiscal year that runs from October 1st, okay, of one calendar year through September 30th, all right? And then you have it that one calendar year, to the next, pardon me. And you have it here, the annual budget covers three spending areas: mandatory spending, discretionary spending, and interest on the debt. You have to ask that, what's up with the interest on the debt? All right. Well, obviously the bankers put interest on the debt. All right. That, of course, the U.S. government do have. All right. Which you have it with the Federal Reserve, the private institution outside of the government. All right. And they have the central bank it is the central bank for us, right? So, we went through this whole process, and now you have it until the next I don't want to misquote information, but until the next, I'll just leave it at that, until the next disruption again. All right. So we had here one of the biggest news that I was going to bring out. Pardon me. Let me see. Let me get that particular clip. You had Christy Noem, all right, which is the Department of Homeland Security, from the Department of Homeland Security. All right. She announced $10,000 bonus checks for TSA officers who went above and beyond during the 43-day government shutdown. And who do you see mainly in this collection of people that's working, which all got bellies? I'll say that. Okay. Don't look like they lost that much weight. You see Hebrew Israelites. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It could have some Israelite foreigners in there, you know, and such. But you have it there, and they're the face, you know, of the government here as the laborers, representing the laborers. Okay, which, as we do know, to say that the borrower, which we are all as employees. Okay. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor. Okay. And you have it, the elite bankers are the rich. And they come from Adawam, which is Edom. Alright. They're the rogue people. Alright. The wicked of the scriptures. They ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Okay. And so these men and women, which are Israelites, okay, as you can see, and hey, all the whole world, you know, but us, you know, we speaking about us, the Hebrew Israelites, we're servant of the lender. All right, being man servants or women servants, all right, maid servants, okay. And when you go into it, it's the Hebrew word ibad, all right, and you have it also worshipers of God. All right. And what you got to understand is most of these people make money their God. All right. Simple as that. All right. Servants, the lowest servant. Okay. And within this captivity, you know, we have you know, being made you know, and a one of all things, so we have to work. If you don't work, you don't eat. But even with these individuals, they was going out work without pay, but still working. All right, and that goes to show you even too, you know, how much this system have the people. All right, mainly the Hebrew Israelites, and they're going to cave for when come the MOTB, which is the charagma, the mark of the, we know, the C hip, micro C hip. And most of these people are going to accept it because they're a worshiper of money, and their God is Satan, Shaitan, the physical counterpart for them, okay? Which is Ishashua Adawam, which have the control of Egypt or America, all right? And its economy and etc. You know, so, you know, these people, they trust as they go into the shadow or the protection of Egypt, all right, which is America, all right. So let me just real quick get that. This is Isaiah chapter 30, all right, and I'm just gonna play the clip. Just maybe, hopefully, I could play like a short one.
Individuals served with exemplary service, which means they were an example of not only taking seriously the
fair use warrant,
security concerns and measures that TSA has to every single day at the Department of Homeland Security, but also they went above and beyond. They helped individuals. They served extra shifts.
See, a lot of them are older too. A lot of people tapped out.
They helped with transportation of people getting back and forth to work, other challenges that families may have. They were all examples of what we need, and we will be continuing to not only recognize employees across the country, but we will be looking at every single TSA official that helped serve during this government shutdown and do what we can to recognize that and help them financially with a bonus check to get them and their family back on their feet. So with that, Rico, I want to present to you a check and say thank you from the American people. Appreciate it. Ashley, thank you.
Look, he look, this man look, he like, man, look at the look.
You, yes. And is Leo here? All right.
She don't even know who they are. Is Leo here? Yeah, okay, look at some. Look at this guy. Look, this guy. Look at some of these people look bugged out. These people like humbled. Look, she almost about to cry.
Thank you so much for if you're
Like he definitely tries. So, as you can see, what she's doing, she gave out $10,000, which, I mean, these people got big checks, or big incomes, to be able to support $10,000, after being 43 days without pay. I mean, that's a small drop in the bucket in a economy too that's losing its buying power by the day. All right, being the U.S. dollar. Okay, especially with a potential $2,000 tariff, Trump tariff dividend and check on the way, and just more economic turmoil. All right, with everything that's going on in the earth, there's a lot of industry that has suffered major losses. You have it at least 60K private sector jobs were lost during the shutdown and such. All right, and these people at TSA, they do beyond just what you see with screening what individuals enter the country. You got others that have to look through other things, okay, items and etc. And commerce goes through these borders and stuff like that. So there's more money that was lost during the time. All right, due to delays, impatience. Okay, so they said they still see the best of America. All right, we saw people come together, support each other, take care of each other, and go beyond the mission for the mission of the Department of Homeland Security. I remember that was created after what? The event in September, all right, of, that year, 2001, okay? And this, TSA under what? Department of Homeland Security was created and such, all right? And this is, these individuals may be potential individuals that are going to make sure that you have that micro C hip, all right, when they screen you if you go dare to travel. All right. So you have it. President Donald Trump Wednesday night signed a bill passed by Congress to fund the government until January. So there you go. There was what I wanted. It was until January. Or that's not that long. Okay, November. All right. Right now, December, January. That's a couple months, bringing the end of the longest shutdown. All right. The Trump administration has implemented measures this year to help speed up. Well, that could be January. Let me see. I have to double check that also. Is that January 2025 or 2026 or 2027? You have to go into that. All right. Yes, the resolution. It's funded by a continued resolution, or CR, that lasts until January 30th of 2026. This measure was signed into law on November the 12th, 2025, to end the shutdown. That's not that much long, right? However, some parts of the government have a full year of funding, right, to end the federal fiscal year on September 30th, 2026. These include the Department of Agriculture and the FDA. All right, Food and Drug Administration, Military Construction, and Department of VA Affairs, Veteran Affairs, Legislative Branch. All right, dealing with obviously your branch of government dealing with the passing bills, and the Senate and such, House of Representatives, etc. Okay, now, and I'm going to get like this scripture, and then we can Susie close off. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and 2. It says, 1, it says, "Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahweh, that take a counsel, but not of me, and that take a cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. All right, not saying that you work for TSA, you can't take a $10,000 check. Hey, if you work and been impacted by it, oh yes, but you're not supposed to believe in, of course, Ishashua Adawam as your God and power and money, and that's your salvation, getting a check. All right, now because a lot of people had took this, even the C hit took in the Sharrat, the sharpshooter. All right, during the time of Ovid. All right, this is verse 2. It says that walk down into America or Egypt. All right, this is the place of our double straits, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, Donald Trump. All right, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. All right, and the rulers. This is spiritually Sodom, Egypt. So your Pharaoh, your ruler, that a title that go to your commander in chief there. All right, you trust in this in the protection that it has here. A federal job, government, of course, benefits and guaranteed, and that your department or your job is there, that you're exempt, okay, instead of non-exempt. But what can you trust in a place that also is going to be wiped away? That's not protection. So, the scripture talk about also a gift destroyeth the heart. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely a present maketh a wise man mad. I know many of us mad having to work, all them hours, and also to not have, the direct deposit of them checks. All right, still being required to perform beyond what you normally had to, okay, when obviously you're getting your checks. All right, that's humiliation, definitely a ritual for you. It says, and a gift destroyed the heart. Right, that gift for that $10,000 for your obedience. Okay, just keep going, man, to keep their morale up as the servitude continues to grow. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Shalom to the elect.